welcome to the first ever Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism Luncheon Red Carpet Pre-Show. I'm Ivory Ward.
And I'm Evan Liss. We will be your student co-host for today. This year, the Cronkite Award of Excellence is being awarded to the Emmy-winning weatherman, Al Roker.
Before the luncheon begins, we will have a special announcement from Dean Potento Batts, who will announce the Cronkite School's new brand elevation campaign, along with interviews with the Cronkite Award co-chairs, and we'll talk with Al Roker's wife and ABC News correspondent, Deborah Roberts.
Stick around and join us for this first ever red carpet pre-show. And while this may be the first pre-show for the luncheon, the Cronkite Award itself has a long and storied history spanning 38 years, with countless of journalism's best and brightest coming here to Phoenix to receive the honor. Let's take a look back. Tom Brokaw, Diane Sawyer, Robin Roberts, and Bob Woodward, just to name a few. When it comes to awards in journalism, it doesn't get much bigger or better than the annual Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism. It all started back in 1984, the year our journalism school gained the name Cronkite. Founder of CBS William Paley and the former president of CBS Frank Stanton received the inaugural honor from Walter Cronkite himself. Since then, 37 Cronkite Awards for Excellence in Journalism have gone out to well-deserving journalists, including ASU alum Al Michaels in 2002. The award has stood the test of time through many changes at Cronkite, including becoming an independent school, a name change, 3 deans, and the big move from Tempe to downtown in 2008. With this history in mind, no wonder the award has become such an important tradition for Cronkite students, faculty, and alumni. Nowadays, it's a 2-day event, with Cronkite students getting to participate in a Q&A with the award recipient and a formal Cronkite Award luncheon. The luncheon has grown to become one of Phoenix's most anticipated events. Leaders from many different industries attend each year, with a select group of Cronkite students chosen to go as well. This year, 900 people are set to show up to the Sheraton in downtown Phoenix to congratulate and celebrate this year's Cronkite Award recipient, Al Roker.
Joining us now is the school's Cronkite new Dean Batts.
Good morning, Dean Batts. Are you excited for your first ever Cronkite luncheon as the school's new dean?
I absolutely am, Evan. Thank you so much. I know you are all, very, very excited about today and really looking forward to the event and the announcement that we're going to be making. There's just so much energy here with us today.
Well, you're not just here today for the award luncheon. You also have an exciting announcement to make to the world today, right?
Yes. We're going to be talking about our new Cronkite Global campaign, which is a brand elevation campaign, and really talking about our global perspective that we have here at Cronkite and how we engage all of our alumni, all of our supporters, all of our students. The world needs more of Cronkite, and we're going to give it to them.
Awesome.
We love that. And Dean Batts, I know you're all about strengthening, growing, and celebrating Cronkite. How does turning the brand towards a more global perspective achieve this?
Well, as I said, the world needs more of Cronkite, and we really want to help people to gather around what our values are and, our strengths and what we believe in, which is truth, fairness. We want to have inclusion. We want to promote diversity and empowerment in media. And those are just some of the things that really Cronkite, in the school is known for. Those are our values. And we believe that if we can do this, then we can really make a difference in our society and confront some of the troubles that we're having.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining us today, Dean Batts. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean Batts.
Along with an introduction of our new brand, the Cronkite School is also unveiling a pledge that all of us can take.
That's right. This pledge is about vowing to carry out the most integral parts of being a strong journalist today, such as upholding truth, confronting misinformation, and advocating for diversity in media.
To sign the pledge, you can go to www.cronkitepledge.com. Once you sign it, you'll receive this digital badge, while you can easily upload to your social media. That way you can show your commitment online to being the best journalist you can be.
And the Cronkite School is celebrating Cronkite Nation as a part of a global community and recognizes the impact our school has across the world, including Cronkite alumni who are now working in many different countries.
Last Friday, we announced the hashtag campaign for the school. Let's take a look.
That's the way it is.
Hashtag Cronkite Global represents the next frontier for the nation's journalism and mass communications school.
Cronkite Global is all about figuring out how we can tell stories, solutions-oriented stories around climate change, saving the environment, and making the planet a better place for everybody.
Cronkite Global amplifies our partnership with NBCU Academy, focused on diversifying newsrooms.
Cronkite Global means that our experts are more accessible to emerging professionals and seasoned leaders in DC, LA, and beyond.
The Global Pledge is important to me because I want to be a part of solutions-based journalism that really makes a difference.
Cronkite Global is our amazing network of
14,000 alums spread out all over the world working to dismantle misinformation.
Cronkite Global showcases that we are the only journalism and mass communication school in the country to host fellows and journalists from around the world every year.
Cronkite Global offers international experiences like covering the Olympics or studying abroad.
Bold thinking, innovation, and collaboration will lead us through this next exciting chapter. Join us. We are Cronkite Global.
We are so honored to have Al Roker as our 38th Cronkite Award recipient. He joined the Today Show as a full-time weathercaster in 1996 and co-hosts the third hour of The Morning Show. Here's a look at some of his memorable moments.
It's good to see you. We got to keep doing this. I know. Good to see you. It's been 3 hours. How does it feel, Mr. President? It feels great. It feels good? It feels good. All righty. The first ever Today Show. Here we are at the Kwangjon Market.
Our truck operator, Tom Bear, said, "Don't you wish you had your weight back?"
Gulf Coast looking good as well.
York City. At the Four Corners. It's going to be huge.
See you in Boston. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
And joining us now is Deborah Roberts, an award-winning correspondent with ABC News and Al Roker's wife. She regularly reports on Nightline, Good Morning America, and World News Tonight with David Muir.
In 2020.
In 2020!
How are you doing today?
Important part of the ABC empire, right?
That's exactly right. Nice to be with you both.
Nice to meet you. It's such an honor to have you here today. And your reporting has taken you around the world, earned you awards, including Emmys for your in-depth reporting on an Ethiopian American woman's journey to find her mother, and also for covering former President Barack Obama's inauguration.
And a Peabody recently for some of the coverage here in the States, too, for the Breonna Taylor story last year with 2020, I'm proud to announce. So, happy to be here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
She recently released a book with her husband, Al, titled Been There, Done That, Real-World Life Lessons During the Modern Times. We are so excited to have Deborah here with us today to talk about her journey.
And Deborah, we just want to give you once again a massive welcome from the whole Cronkite family. I hope you've enjoyed your time thus far with us.
I have, and it's so great to see what you all are doing. I went to the University of Georgia, go Dogs, and I have to tell you, you're getting such opportunities that I don't think we really had a chance to do back then, to do this kind of interview work, so it's great.
Yeah, I mean, look at this, even this show here today, I mean, it's all pretty much student run.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, because I think a lot of people wonder this out there, while you and Al are both highly successful broadcasters, you two do two very different things and are actually on competing networks, ABC and NBC. I got that right?
We decided to bury the hatchet for today, okay? So even though NBC is in the house, I'm bringing ABC here too as a representation. So yes, we are with competing networks, but we always like to say it's a friendly rivalry. And at the end of the day, we both love what we do. We love being able to go out and do all kinds of stories. And Al sometimes touches on the journalism part of it too with his reporting. So it's really very interesting and stimulating for both of us, I think.
And do you ever get to touch on the fun side?
Yeah, we actually do. We do. And we, gossip at home. And, both of us kind of enjoy sometimes going and getting a chance to do lightweight stories, things on Hollywood celebrities. He sometimes interviews people behind the scenes for movies, and I get a chance to do something very similar. So, yes, lightweight notes, and then also fun things like this. This is amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun. You brought up your beginnings a little bit there. So how have you seen the journalism industry change? Because we know it's evolving so much, specifically during our times right now. So have you seen it change since your time back in Georgia to today?
Well, I think so much is immediate. I mean, there was no social media when I was coming into the into journalism, and so the way you all report now, the way you get news now, I mean, you have so many outlets to get news. But I think that there are some things that are still the same, and I think digging for great stories and also doing your research, because I think for your generation, it's so easy to just get a quick something, to Google something, to get a headline, but to actually do the real research and to know the context of a story like Ukraine and Russia right now, what led up to this, to know the context of it. So there are some things that have changed, of course, in technology, but there are a lot of things that are very much, I think, still the same when it comes to reporting.
Deborah, I would love to know what advice you have for upcoming journalists that hope to follow in your footsteps one day.
Well, hopefully you won't do it anytime soon. So let me keep doing my work for a while and you just take your time. But I will say that I do say anytime I get a chance to talk to students, I think it is so important that you really do maintain those old skills, which is reading. Read as many newspapers as you can every day. Read magazines. Try to keep yourself informed in an in-depth way so that everything is not shorthanded. There is a tendency right now, because we have such short attention spans, to do everything very shorthand. So keep yourself abreast of world events and also all kinds of things. Read about things that you may not even think you're going to report on, whether it's medicine or whether it's sports or anything like that, because you never know when there may be a story coming your way.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that insight, and thank you for joining us today, Deborah.
Thank you so much, Deborah.
Thank you.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
At the Cronkite School, students take a professional program before they graduate. One of the options is Cronkite News.
That's right, Ivory, and I and you also have participated in Cronkite News. I'm still up there doing the weather every Monday. I love it. I get to ad-lib a lot. So what role, though, when you were back there, did you have?
Well, Evan, I was a social justice reporter and a former anchor on Cronkite News. It is such a unique program that sets Cronkite apart. And let's see what happens up on 6th floor.
Cronkite News provides students at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
The Cronkite School awarded the inaugural Shaffler Prize in Journalism this year, recognizing those who advance the understanding of stories and issues related to underserved people in society.
Tolu Olorunipa and Griff Whitty, along with the entire staff of the Washington Post, won first place for their story, Born with Two Strikes, How Systemic Racism Shaped Floyd's Life and Hobbled His Ambitions.
We are so honored to have both Tolu and Griff join us for the luncheon this year. Congrats to you both on this award. Can you please tell us how this idea developed and why you wanted to tell this story?
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. We're very honored to receive this prize. Griff and I and our entire team at the Post decided that we wanted to look at George Floyd's life, not only at his life and how he died, but we wanted to look at how he lived. We wanted to look at the issues of systemic racism that he faced across the 46 years when he was on Earth. We wanted to look at it in a number of different areas, from healthcare to education to the criminal justice system. And what we found out was that his life was really an example of how racism operates in America today. It's not, burning flags and overt racism. It's systemic. It's sometimes things that you can't see. And we were able to show that in a number of different ways along with our colleagues with this series.
And so for this piece, hundreds of documents, if I'm correct, were reviewed and over 150 people were interviewed, including those who were closest to Floyd. What was that like for you guys as journalists, that process?
Well, it took an entire team. It was a really collaborative effort. Tolu and I were obviously a big part of it, but we had a massive number of reporters, visual reporters, photographers, editors. This was an entire newsroom that got together to do this work. And we wanted to make sure that we were comprehensive, that we were telling George Floyd's story in a way that did justice to this man's life, that told readers who he was, what he was all about, and how the broader societal forces of racism really shaped various events in his life. And so we went back not just to his birth, but generations into the past to try to understand how George Floyd came to be.
And for you guys, it's really, really interesting stuff, I think, for everyone who's had a chance to read it. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. What was it like for you guys to find out that you received this award in its inaugural year?
It was a surprise at first, but we were really honored. We think this award is just the kind of award that you need in journalism. You need to encourage people to focus on underserved, marginalized communities. We're honored to receive the award. We were able to look at some of the other award recipients, and we were really impressed by the journalism done both here at the Cronkite School as well as with our colleagues at ProPublica. We were really honored to be a part of that group, and to be a part of the first inaugural award for this kind of journalism is really, really valued and really, really impressive, and we're very grateful and very honored.
You guys deserve it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Are feeding over there. They were both walking that way, and they said, pick the girl up in 20 minutes to 30 minutes and about to turn off, and that never happened. We called the police, and it took them a while to come. 2 hours to 3 hours. The sex offender was taking the girl, and seems like nobody cares. Even though we report, they don't look.
So much of what we do would not be possible without the support of our Cronkite Endowment Board.
That's right, John Schurz joins us now. He's on the board, and he is the president and general manager of Orbital Communications. He's also the co-chair of today's luncheon. Thank you for joining us. We are so thankful for your support, and also from your wife, Rachel, too. Can you tell us why you serve on the board and why you want to help the school?
Well, it's just an amazing group of people. The school, the caliber of students, and I just look at you two and I'm amazed. It's just a wonderful organization, and really it's shaping the future of media. And so it's exciting to be a part of that and just support in any way we can.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about the mission of your company.
The mission of our company is we're an internet and TV-based group. Our mission is to keep people connected and basically better their world, empower them. And so we want to be a trusted partner.
Awesome. Given that you are a member of the Endowment Board and co-chair of today's event, can you share why you're excited to see Al Roker receive the 38th Cronkite Award?
Well, Walter Cronkite was known as the most trusted man in America, right? And so I think Mr. Roker embodies that spirit today. We welcome him into our home, so it's not just trust. You know, every morning for about 30 years, it's the fact that he connects with people. And so he's got a lifetime of achievements, and it's just great to honor him today.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
And so what message would you give for others who are thinking of giving back to Cronkite?
That's a great question. I would say that reach out to an endowment board member, somebody from the school, a staff member. There's so many ways to contribute and make a difference. I would say that certainly time, talent, sharing your expertise, financial resources, all of it goes to help the students and the faculty of the school create just an amazing learning experience, but more so create quality journalism. And thanks to you guys for all you do.
Well, thank you, because without people like you, it probably wouldn't be possible. And I have to say, also, he's wearing a pitchfork tie today. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but we love to see it. Forks up, right?
Forks up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, John, for joining us today.
Every year at the luncheon, we highlight those students who receive financial support because of today's event. Let's take a look.
And I'm Atria Mineshni. Thank you for joining us.
When I was in high school, I discovered Cronkite, and I made it kind of my mission to get in. Where I come from Iran, journalism is very, very suppressed there. And I very quickly realized how much of a privilege journalism is here in America. And I got so excited when I made it into Cronkite because I've been able to grasp so many amazing opportunities.
I'm excited to be at Cronkite for numerous reasons. First off, they offer amazing opportunities, connections, and resources to us students to prepare us for the real world as we enter our future careers.
It was the people that made me love being here, that made me so excited to come back here. It's the people that I'm going to miss the most when I graduate in May. It's the people that make this place so special. That's why I'm so excited to be at Cronkite every day.
I love the Cronkite School a lot. I loved what I've learned and the opportunities that I've been given. I think
being able to report in DC at age 19 as a sophomore is the coolest thing I've ever been a part of.
I received the Arizona Broadcasters Association scholarship, and this scholarship means a lot to me because it took a lot of financial burden off of my shoulders and my family's shoulders just because of coming out of the pandemic. We did struggle financially, and it also has allowed me to focus a lot more on my academics rather than trying to worry about, finding the money for tuition and finding the money for equipment and stuff like that. So it was really awesome, and I felt so honored and privileged to receive that scholarship.
I want to say thank you to the Carolyn and the Wynn Holden Family Scholarship that has really impacted me as an individual here at Cronkite. I am so grateful to receive it because I come from a low-income family, and the assistance really was needed for me to continue my education here.
I'm the recipient of the Derek Hall Arizona Diamondbacks Journalism and Mass Communication Scholarship. This scholarship just means everything to me because from a financial perspective, it's easier on my single mother who is, paying for her 3 girls to get through school. And, just from an emotional perspective, from a long-term perspective, it allows me to plan better for my future because I know I'm not going to have as much money to pay back when my time in school comes to an end.
I received the Cheryl and Andy Mandala Family Scholarship, which is one of the 2 scholarships allocated for students who are reporting in DC for the semester. And I just think that it's really important to fund young journalists and new journalists and help them succeed because I think we really are the future of journalism, and it's important to help us out.
I'm very, very thankful, very, very honored to be receiving the Arizona Broadcasters Association scholarship. It means a lot to me as someone, who comes from a country that, journalism is not really appreciated there, and now that I am here and I'm able to do something that I really, really love and to actually be honored a scholarship for means the world to me. So thank you, everybody, and thank you so much for giving me this scholarship.
I would like to say thank you to the donors who supported scholarships for the Cronkite students. You are one of the main reasons of why we continue to strive for our goals, and you are making a really big impact on our lives, and with your assistance, we are able to make a better future for ourselves.
I want to thank every donor that has helped out the Cronkite School. It's so important to help young journalists, new journalists, and they are really the foundation of supporting what we can do.
Thank you, everyone, the donors, the alumni, the faculty, the staff, anyone who helps make the Cronkite School the amazing place that it is for people like me. Thank you.
Joining us now is Christine Dodge. She is the Senior Vice President of Broder Partners and also served on the Cronkite Endowment Board and is co-chair of the Luncheon.
Thank you to you and your husband, David, for your support of the Cronkite School, and thank you for being with us today. We're honored to have you. So we just watched that scholarship video. Why is giving back so important to you in particular?
Well, as you know, I'm a Sun Devil alum, and I've given this some thought. And, I look back to my time as a student, and I had access to great programs and great resources. But as a student, you don't really spend a lot of time thinking about who funds these programs, where do these resources come from. They don't just magically appear. Turns out it takes alumni support, it takes sponsor donations. So looking back, I want to make sure that this next generation has access to all the same great programs and all the same great resources. So I just feel, frankly, it's kind of our obligation.
Awesome. Well, we know you are a proud Sun Devil alum. Can you please tell us why you got involved with the Cronkite School?
Sure. So my father-in-law, Don Dotz, who's here today, was the alumni director at Arizona State for 30 years, also a Cronkite graduate himself. He was very active on the board of advisors, and there was a point where I thought we really need to keep this family tradition going. So I reached out to Dean Callahan and said, hey, I'd really like to keep the Dotz family as part of the Cronkite history. So I asked to be considered to participate in the board. As you all know too, there is a thriving public relations lab inside the Cronkite program. I am in the public relations industry, so I also personally have tried to stay connected to that group because we care a lot about really well-trained pipeline of talent to support PR agencies here in the Valley.
Awesome, thank you.
Well, going off of that point that you just said, Broder Partners is a Dean Circle sponsor of today's luncheon. Can you talk about what that means?
Sure, yeah. So I mentioned Broder Partners is the PR agency that I work for. We have an office here in Phoenix, although we're a national agency. Most of our employees here in the Phoenix office are Sun Devil alums. So we stay really, some of them were interns with us, Sun Devil interns. They were participants in the public relations lab. So it's really important for us. It isn't just, hey, we want to have a place to recruit candidates. For us, it's personal because there are so many Sun Devils in our office.
That's a very cool cause. And I know that you wanted to thank some of the other sponsors of today's event. Is that right?
Yeah. So I'll spend a little time on stage, and I'll be honoring our Cronkite Circle sponsors and our President's Circle sponsors. And as I said before, you know, when you're not close to it, you really don't have an understanding of the financial support that's required behind the scenes to keep a program Cronkite thriving. So it really is meaningful to have this, to have these contributions and to have these sponsors. So I'm looking forward to honoring them from the stage today.
We're looking forward to it too, and we want to thank you so much again for being with us. We know that you got to get up onto the stage for the start of the event now, so we'll let you go. Thank you so much for being here.
One of the easiest ways you can support Cronkite students, we'd love for you to like and share our content. We are on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, and you can check out our work on cronkitenews.arizonapbs.org. And a reminder, you can watch Cronkite News on Arizona PBS weeknights at 5:30.
And if you are an alum of the Cronkite School or want to get more involved, log on to cronkite.asu.edu/alumni to learn how to give back and to connect.
We are going to wrap up this Walter Cronkite Award Show, Red Carpet Show.
Yeah, that's right. I'm Evan Liss.
And I'm Ivory Ward.
And we want to thank our producer, Alyssa Stoney, and all of our students and faculty behind the scenes. They're all pros, and without them, this wouldn't be possible today.
Thank you so much for watching.